the issue of stigma is actually something we need to look at, especially I've had the privilege of being brought up in the village, and of course the other side of it, schooling and staying in Nairobi. And when this subject of mental health started being spoken clearly and across even the media, I started flashing back, and I realized some of the cases we used to witness were actually mental cases, but probably we gave them a different name. Somebody probably, we nicknamed somebody, that person is moody. It's not a people person, whereby maybe somebody was withdrawn, or there was a madman in our market. There was a certain man who was actually picking litter in the market, and of course he was not the employee of the county council, but we called them a mad person. And then we hear probably he was bewitched by a neighbor, probably something came up. So you realize that by calling it madness, or probably not wanting to be associated with that person, he got isolated, and that's the stigma around such. So we tend to avoid such people, especially those who have extreme cases. And what was even worse is where maybe somebody committed suicide, and then the culture around that, how that person is buried. Like in my culture, they are to be buried very quickly, and mostly before the sun rises. And in some other extreme, because we have subcultures, especially in Western Kenya, that's when they'll bury them behind the house. And also the society is told that person should not be named after. If it's called Wafula, therefore a child in that community should not be named after. And therefore the conversation around mental health becomes key, so that first, sometimes people behave ignorantly. Not that maybe my people are hostile per se, but culture and stigma has come into that matter. So the conversation tends to highlight, clarify, so that when you see somebody withdrawing, stressed up or moody, when we don't look at the effects, we look at what could it be, have a conversation, and where possible, talk about it or approach a specialist, and that will help really clarify that. And therefore a conversation like this one on this platform, the national broadcaster, comes in very handy. Yes, yeah, so we need to address that.
To speak more about mental wellness, so that we're able to also just demystify the misconceptions and the myths around it.
Exactly, where possible, have town halls in communities, have young people now share up, like what we have had from the panelists, have that conversation, have people maybe say what they think of it, the experience they have probably gone through, that like what she has said, and then now we get to see how do we handle each other.